Romans 8:19 says, creation is literally waiting for sons and daughters to be revealed. Translation, the world is waiting for leaders to show up, not just visible, but viable, rooted in source, stewarding self, showing up in service, and locked in with systems, formed before offered, consistent when the applause stops. When I keep my first appointment with God, I steward my body and my mind and keep one promise a day. I'm not chasing a moment. I'm getting revealed by pattern. Families, teams, cities. Creation responds to consistency. Creation is waiting. Be revealed by rhythm, not a moment. If you are an entrepreneur, a kingdom believer, business owner, an art center, a dance studio, a music academy, a childcare center, I'm talking to you. This is for you. We're talking about source, self, service, and systems. Let's get unstuck. Let's move together as leaders. Let's go. What does it mean? I'm talking about the source. So we're talking about creation, people, places, systems, neighborhoods. I'm talking about those individuals that make up families, that make up community, that make up the nation. So we're talking about those families in that community. They're not waiting on the hype. They're waiting on pattern. Presence before performance. Are we showing up? Are we doing our part? Are we doing our piece? Vision talks. It's important as a leader that we talk about the vision, but consistency convinces. Are you doing what you say? Are you the first partaker? Are you leading diligently? Self-reflection. So when I think of myself, I ask myself, am I showing up? I'm the first place that trust is built. I have to show up for me first. And there was a time in my life when I didn't show up for me. There was a time when I showed up for everything and everyone before myself. When I didn't show up for me, I woke up one day, I was 80 pounds heavier. I was very unhealthy. I was diagnosed with diabetes. And I didn't know what to do and how to do it. Because I tried different things. I tried to show up for my family. I tried to get healthy for my family. I tried to get healthy for my purpose. I tried to get healthy for my community. It didn't work, it didn't stick. I tried things that didn't work. So then what happened? Once God showed me, if I'm not healthy enough, he can't let me have the assignment. He won't pass on the thing that he ordained for my life. At my end, he created my beginning. If I am not in a place to be able to hold that mantle, to be able to hold that assignment, God told me that he wasn't going to give it to me. So I wanted to make a change. I wanted to make a change because at this point, it was a decision that I wouldn't disappoint God. It was a decision that I would show up for myself. When I was going through that process and I was showing up for everything and everyone else, I was building that wall brick by brick. I was building it brick by brick, but I wasn't showing up for me. I was showing up for the thing that I thought I was supposed to do. What does that look like? I was committed to being at my business from 9 a.m. to maybe 9 p.m., 12 p.m. I got a cot and I would sleep there sometimes. And all along, I was avoiding home. I was avoiding myself. I was avoiding responsibility, and time was passing and I was exhausting myself. I wasn't showing up as a leader. I was showing up. And I thought I was being consistent at showing up, but I wasn't a leader. A true leader builds systems that will encourage, motivate, and gather people to do the assignment. As a visionary, you pass on the vision. As a visionary, you relay that vision, but ultimately, you have to gather people. You have to bring people together that will help build that vision. Great leaders are great communicators. How do you get the vision from here to go through here, to encourage people, to see that vision, inspire them, and want to be a part of it? I rebuilt my mornings. I said to myself that I am not going to allow people, I'm not going to allow things, I'm not going to be the busy person doing the thing and not being productive. So I had to start with me. I rebuilt those habits for myself. I had to rebuild trust in myself. People around me was disappointing me left and right, but I was disappointing myself. I wasn't showing up. I wasn't doing my part. I was thinking about being perfect, but at the same time, I wasn't being present for myself. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. Are you showing up for you? My first appointment out of the day, when I'm talking about putting myself first, I talk about putting myself first. My first appointment on my calendar every day is me and God. Me and God. Even on a rush day, I spend 90 minutes. On a day that I'm like, I got to get to the office quick, 90 minutes. But on average, it's about 3 to 4 hours. 3 to 4 hours out of my day, in the beginning of my day. I start my day at 4:15 in the morning. And I don't talk to individuals. I don't answer emails. I don't respond. I don't allow myself to get distracted with at least the first 3, 4 hours out of the day. On days that I know I really need it, it's like 5 or 6 hours, and I'm quiet. I'm true to myself first. So I wake up and I evaluate, how do I feel? A leader has to evaluate how they feel, because that is how they will lead themselves out of however they're feeling first. So before I can lead anyone else, I need to lead myself. I'm being true to myself. If I'm having a rough day, if I'm grieving today, if I'm disappointed today, I acknowledge those feelings first. I acknowledge them. I pray myself out of it. I motivate myself out of it. I encourage myself out of it. And once I get out of that, I'm hitting the gym. I'm working out. I'm moving my body, because that was the very thing that I toiled with, that God said to me specifically, you will not complete this assignment, your purpose that you have here on earth. I will not allow you to go into it unless you take care of yourself first. So I move my body. I spend at least 3-4 hours moving, talking, praying, having that one-on-one time with God before I'm interrupted. Before I show up for anyone else, I'm true to myself first. And I mean that. Even if life hits, I will move my time block, my appointment. I will move it later on throughout the day, but I never delete it. I don't delete it because I'm intentional about putting my self-care first, and I acknowledge him as the source. So if I acknowledge him as a source, I am a resource. This is my time with myself. I need a fresh download. I believe in ledger checks. I believe in 3 checks a day. Number 1, am I keeping my first appointment? Number 2, am I moving my body? That's important for me. And number 3, I have to finish at least one promise that I made to myself that day. So I believe in to-do lists. I believe that you need a list so you can see where you're going. Write it out plain and then see where you're going. So I believe in my list, but I have to complete at least one task on that list every day. That I average out to about 18 checks a week. Now, my pattern is what persuades, because I am persuading myself. Sometimes I just need a check off my list, and that encourages me to continue to do more and more and more. When I talk about service, I'm talking about a leader. A leader shows up for themselves first. A leader shows up for their community second, okay? Not just a visible show up. I'm talking about being viable. Your identity is service. You want to be the first fan of your assignment. I love what I do. I love it. I love having a moment I love getting the opportunity to do what I do. So number 1, I'm the first fan. So I have to keep myself motivated and encouraged. My actions is my announcement. Less talking, more demonstrating, more showing. How do I do that? I do it by my actions. My actions will let anyone know exactly what I've been doing behind closed doors. A leader always goes first. You have to set the foundation. This is so important, because I remember when we first started our business, right? And my wife, she didn't hire any instructors. She said she wanted to be the only instructor. And I didn't understand, because I'm thinking, we're going to build this business. You need some support. You need some help. But she understood, and I learned through the process that a leader has to set the foundation. The leader is what sets the tone. The leader goes first. So as a visionary, it's really good to communicate your vision, but a lot of times that initial vision, you got to show them. So instead of me allowing people to come in, instead of us allowing people to come in to demonstrate their version of the vision, they saw it. So now they're able to say, oh, this is how I do this. This is how I do that. You have to be consistent without the crowd. Even if the crowd doesn't cheer, you have to be the first cheerleader. You have to be diligent at doing that thing repeatedly over and over and over again. I'm the first believer. I'll cheer on alone if I have to. I'm the first person that's excited about my day. I'm the first one that's excited about the excitement. I'm the first person that's excited about the vision. I'm the first person that's excited about the direction. The passion I have on the inside, it overflows on the outside, but it's because I'm the first person. As a leader, you set the tone. You are the influencer. You set the tone. Uneven energy is optional. A leader goes past that option. You don't have a right as a leader to be up and down, to be hot, to be cold. You have to be consistent. You can't be double-minded. You can't be tossed to and fro. You have to show up with energy, excitement, and passion about what it is that you're doing, or no one else will understand. If you don't set it, you end up getting it. So if I don't set the tone, I'm allowing anyone that walked through the door to set the atmosphere for whatever I'm trying to do. So if somebody else is walking in discouraged, that's the atmosphere. If somebody else is walking in defeated, that's the atmosphere. If I don't set it, if I set the tone and I set it at such a high bar, then everyone else that comes in, they have to fall under subjection to what I set, right? A leader sets that tone. I am strong at my focus line, okay? So sometimes I don't always have the ambition or the energy to set that tone. So sometimes I have to tell myself, okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go, James. Let's go. It's go time, James. Get up, James. Come on. Let me tell you why I'm so strong and passionate about waking myself up. Because there was a time before I would do it on my own. When I was talking about that brick by brick, I was doing it on my own. Now I got the whole host of heaven on my side. So now I understand Christ in me is the hope of glory. Now I understand that I am a king to the king. Wait a minute. So if I thought I was bad without him, how do you think I feel now that I have him? I'm excited to go forward. I'm excited to move forward. And sometimes I got to give myself the pep talk. Nah, that's not you, James. You're great. You can do it. Sometimes I tell myself that. I have to encourage myself first. That includes, sometimes I just start randomly clapping. I'll start jumping. I'll start saying, let's go, James. Let's get it together, James. I show energy on purpose. Because the energy that I set, it sets the tone. So I have energy on purpose. And my environment follows instruction. Whatever I say, whatever I speak to creation, whatever I speak in the atmosphere, that is what will show up. It's so funny because over the weekend we had a job fair. And with this job fair, because I'm looking for new people to build our program, I had it was an old client. She came in for a job at this job fair. So she believed in the vision and she came in and she wanted to see the program. She wanted to drop off her resume and talk about the program. But the very first thing she said was, you know, it's so calming in here. She said, it just feels like Selah. She said, it just feels calm. And I'm like, that's because I started my day with worship. I started my day setting the tone of how it was going to be. I started with worship. I started with prayer by myself in this building. An hour before we opened, I turned the music up and I set the tone. Later on, at the very end of the day, one of our last appointments walked through the door and said, it's calm in here. I had 150 students in the building. Had 150 students in the building. If each student brings in at least one parent, that's at least 300 people in and out within that hour block. And she walked in and said, it feels like Selah. When the applause stop, you have to continue. You have to be consistent even when it's quiet. Everyone is not going to cheer loudly for you. Everyone is not going to cheer loud, and it's okay. It's okay. You have to be consistent. In those seasons when people are quiet, that's when you're being built. That's when you're being shaped. That's when you're being molded. That's when you're being pulled and tossed and stretched. That's when capacity is being built. Is when everyone is quiet. Trust me. You have to make sure that you are in control of your reactions. You have to make sure as a leader, you're not allowing the atmosphere, you're not allowing the applause to motivate you. You have to be able to motivate yourself, stand 10 toes down, regardless of what or what not somebody else is doing. You have to be faithful even when you're not popular. You have to be faithful. When it's silent, I'm still on schedule. When it's silent, I'm still consistent. When it's silent, I'm still producing. See, I understand, right, that this world is made up of two kinds of people. You have your consumer and you have your producer. Are you a producer or are you a consumer? Are you leading the conversation or are you a part of the conversation being led? Are you following the conversation? Are you the influencer or are you the person being influenced? I believe in systems. I believe in systems, putting repeatable systems in place that will help safeguard who you are as the visionary, as the leader, and the assignment. Systems help keep you in line. There are some non-negotiable leader systems that I believe in. I believe in a system is what guards you and keep you with integrity. I believe in on-time starts. 90% of the things that I do, we do them on time. We do them on time because it shows integrity. I value people's time. I value deadlines. I value my assignment. I value the vision. I do it on time. I believe in 24-hour replies. As a leader, you want to make sure that you are getting back to people, especially when they're interested. You want to make sure that you are following through with the very thing that you said that you were going to do. So what I did was to help me stay on track with the 24-hour replies. I hired someone to work back office during the day. Why? Because replies to our organization is important, especially with clients. I believe in completing one finished assignment, one finished promise every day. Every day I make a promise to myself and I have a task list, and every day I will check something off of that assignment list, all right? You want to be trusted even when it's not trendy. You want to be trusted even when others around you are probably deterring you to do something different. You want to be consistent and not heroic. You want to be true to yourself. I believe in consistency. I believe consistency is what will set you apart from your competitors. So I had a new family that started our organization last week. She came in, she didn't have an appointment. Mom and daughter walked into the building and they drove 45 minutes to our location. And when she came, she just popped in, no appointment, no tour scheduled. But when she came in, she said something really interesting, because I always believe in asking, how did you hear about us? Because that is how I'll learn what is working and what's not working. And she said, I've been following you guys on social media for a year. I said, oh, really? Okay. And now was the time she decided to come forward. So she's been following the journey all along. And I said to myself, that's because we're consistent. If we weren't consistent, she would have never came inside. She decided to value what we offer. 45 minutes from her hometown, she decided it was worth the commitment to not only drive down after seeing a year of consistency, understanding the culture, understanding the climate. She decided to drive 45 minutes and enroll, make this commitment to every single week. Why? Because of consistency. If I'm up today and down tomorrow, then how would people understand what it is that we're doing. They understand it because I'm consistent. I'm consistent at showing up today. I'm consistent at showing up tomorrow. I was consistent last year. I'm going to be consistent a year from now. I'm going to continue to do what it is that we do because I believe in it, number one, and consistency will always, always build trust. Creation is waiting. So I won't wait for the vibe. I'll honor the source. I'll steward myself. I'll show up with service. I'll lock in with systems. I'll be consistent when it's quiet. I'll cheer when no one's cheering, when no one's clapping. I'll let my actions be the announcement. Leaders don't show up random. We show up ready. If you like what you heard today, you want to like and subscribe. I'm Mr. James. I'm the one that's going to show our creatives, our kingdom business owners, how to step out, how to move forward, and how to get unstuck. I got you. Let's go.